Okay, now we are, all right, we'll have an update on YouTube, so we'll be on there. So, want to start by calling on Recording Secretary Laura Campione to read the minutes of the meeting of April 24th, 2023.
Good morning. Kevin. President McCaffrey called the meeting to order at 9:15 a.m. There was a Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silence for our brave men and women of the armed forces who sacrificed to protect our freedom. There was a roll call of officers. All were present. President McCaffrey called on Trustee Paul to read the minutes from January, Trustee to read the minutes. I put the wrong name. We're called on Laura Campione to read the minutes of January 29, 2023, general membership meeting. I gotta correct this. Sorry. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to accept the minutes as read. A motion was made by Brother Bill Landy and seconded by Brother Braunstein. Motion passed unanimously. Financial report. President McCaffrey called on Secretary Treasurer Danny Pacheco to read the financial report. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to read the summary of the financial reports for February, March, and April 2023. Motion was made by Brother Bill Landy and seconded by Brother Braunstein. Motion was approved. Secretary Treasurer Danny Pacheco read the reports of February, March, and April 2023. Trustee declaration. President McCaffrey called on Trustee Paul to read the trustee's declaration. Trustee Paul reported that the trustees of the Local 707 have examined the books and records for the local unions for January, February, and March 2023 and found them to be recorded correctly and the bank balances verified. Unfinished business. YRC New Penn, the proposed change of operation continues to be on hold. ABF negotiations. President McCaffrey attended ABF national negotiations and is currently negotiating the New York, New Jersey supplement. Most work is done. Cleanup language from ABF that was part of the NMFA, National Master Freight Agreement. The biggest issue is going to be increased wages and benefit payments. T-Force negotiations. President McCaffrey attends T-Force negotiations, but will be attending the ABF negotiations when there is a scheduling conflict between the two. The biggest issues on T-Force, the table, is limiting subcontracting and language changes. New business. Contracts recently ratified. Hudson News, Grimes Hills. Contracts being negotiated. West Side Tennis, tentative agreement. ABF Freight, T-Force. T-Force, change of operations. T-Force proposed a change of operation which closes down Nanuet Terminal. Local 707 currently has approximately 20 members there. T-Force proposes moving 4 to 5 members to the Newburgh facility, 2 members to Wallington, Connecticut, in addition to 10 members to Moonachie. Reimbursement of $100 new member initiation fee. In March of 2020, due to COVID pandemic, the $100 new member initiation fee was suspended. Members will receive the $100 as a refund once they attend a new member seminar at a general membership meeting. The $100 refundable new member assessment will be reinstated as of June 1st, 2023. Union app. Union Active is the union app run by union employees. It's an app to keep the members up to date on information about their jobs and local. Good and welfare. Workers' comp update. Rob Rogers of Miller and Caggiano Workers' Comp attorneys gave the update to the members. New summary plan benefit are now being distributed. There's veteran pins available at the local and review of SMM. President McCaffrey asked for a motion to adjourn the meeting. A motion was made by Brother Bill Landy, seconded by Ike Wilson. Brother Ike Wilson. The meeting adjourned at 10:30 a.m. Respectfully, Laura Campione, Recording Secretary.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as read? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion to accept the minutes. The motion? Second. Anthony has made the second. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, those minutes are passed. Next, I'm going to call on Vice President Chuck White to read the financial report for the months of April, May, and June. We have a motion to read the summary of those 3 months. Motion. Ike, second. Anthony, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? That's my other job, abstention. Sorry, I forget. Motion. All in favor? Okay, we're going to read the summary. Chuck, if you're ready.
Morning, everybody. Membership dues, $265,092. Initiation and reinitiation, $39,355.75. Withdrawals and transfers, $2. Assessments and fines, $8,826. Other income, $25,360.52. Total income, $338,636.27. Salaries, $103,655.71. Expense allowance, $3,970.00. Per capita tax, $71,853.23. Contributions, $1,000. Benefits paid, $49,991.04. Refunds, initiations, and reinitiations, $350. Office administration, $44,704.31. Legal fees, $15,000. Arbitration fees, $40. Other professional fees, $16,380. Taxes, $8,327.39. Meeting and committee expenses, $712.80. Auto expenses, $4,124.14. Out-of-town travel, $12,157.74. Other expenses, $1,009.06. Comes to a total expense of $333,275.42, what comes to a net income of $5,360.85. Any questions? Okay.
All right. Any additions, corrections to the financial report as read? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion to accept the financial report as read. Motion is second. Anthony, all in favor? Opposed? Okay, the motion is carried. Now I'm going to call on Trustee Charlton Paul to read the trustee's declaration for the months of April, May, and June 2023.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Trustees of Local 707 Executive Board have examined the books and records for the local union 707 for the months of April, May, and June, and have found to be correct, and the bank balance is verified. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. No motion is necessary for that. Want to go into old business. First is the ABF negotiations. Good news. I don't know if I see anybody from ABF here. I guess they're. Oh yeah, Anthony's here. A few guys are happy so far. I just want to go over some of the highlights of that ABF agreement. We had wage increases in year one, $3.50 an hour. I've been around a long time. I've never seen $3.50 an hour increase in our wages in 1 year. And then incrementally, and that's 8.75 cents per mile for the road drivers, and it's a total of $6.50 in raises over the life of the 5-year agreement. Additional holiday, Martin Luther King Day will now be another holiday. Sick days, we already had the 7 sick days, but for those who didn't get it because they don't live in New York or California, they'll get 2 additional sick days. Increase in health, welfare, and pension contributions, which will be able to maintain our health and welfare benefits, and for the first time in 10 years, put more money into the pension fund for additional benefits accruals. We also have some enhanced road driver protection. It doesn't pertain to a lot of us here. We don't have a lot of road drivers in 707, but more protection against purchase transportation. Brought down the amount of purchase transportation that the company can use. The cost of living is now uncapped. Big things, protection against inward-facing cameras. The company cannot use any type of inward-facing cameras at all on the trucks. No sensors, no audio, no nothing in the cabs of your truck. You do have one of the problems we do have, and you'll continue to have, is if at nighttime, if you use your phone, it lights up and it's dark out in the cab, it's going to light up on the windshield. They're going to know you're using your phone. So that is that, and the outward-facing camera will pick that up. So that we couldn't avoid. And with protections against driverless trucks, and we added a new. One of the things the company needed was because of a lot of the cartage that they give away. They give away a lot of cartage. Fact of the matter is, we have a hard time getting drivers. And so one of the things that they came to us for said, look, we use $30 million a year, $40 million a year in cartage, and they want to get rid of that. And so one of the ways we're going to do it is to be able to, we allowed them to do what we did at YRC, which is to have the non-CDL drivers. And so we gave them that for the non-CDL drivers. And that hopefully, they're not going to do it first year because they spending all their money and giving you guys raises. After that, they're going to look into the feasibility of purchasing these box trucks and getting, because the people that are doing your work, they're not CDL drivers. They are not non-CDL drivers out there doing the work. Is one way to be able to meet our wage goals, but more importantly, get more members into the union, paying into our health, welfare, and pension funds, and less money going on the cartage truck. So that was what we did. It was in New Jersey, New York. The vote was overwhelmingly supportive, and on a national level, it passed by a significant margin as well. So that was a good contract for ABF. Any questions about the ABF contract? Yes.
With them getting the box trucks, hopefully they won't have the same confusions that we had as far as with, they saying they hiring them to, do mainly the home deliveries. But then they end up having them doing regular P&D work also.
Well, they can do regular P&D work. It's not just exclusive to that. But the bottom line is that whether it be YRC or ABF, the box truck guys go out behind CDL drivers. So if you've been a boxcar driver for 5 years, okay, and they hire a CDL guy, and he comes in, he's got a month's worth of seniority, he makes the seniority list. He has more seniority than the box truck guy does. So it's an incentive for them to be able to get their license and to be able to become, because they have training and everything else. So that's the reason why they did it, and it's supposed to be a transition into them getting their CDLs. And the carrot or stick out there is that they'll have seniority. So that's the purpose of it.
And what will be their rate of pay?
Their rate of pay, I don't have it exactly with me. I think it starts, Anthony, do you remember how it starts? I know this is so subject with you because eventually they get up to full pay. I think it's 90% or $2 an hour less.
And it takes 5 years.
Takes 5 years to get up to the progression. Okay, a CDL driver gets up to progression. And I got so many contracts going on right now. I got the T-Force one, 1 year. Thank you. 1 year, you make the list. You're at full rate for a CDL driver. Okay, so there's quite an incentive for them to be able to get their license. So, all right. So, with that, I want to talk about T-Force negotiations. On July 13th, the tentative agreement was reached with T-Force. Everyone's asking me, well, what's in there? I can't tell you. Tomorrow we have what they call a two-person committee, and that is where they take two people from each local to go down to Washington, and they lay out the contract to the representatives from the local unions. According to our Constitution, they have to vote on that to bring it forward to the members. That's what our Constitution says. So that's going to occur tomorrow. So even though I was on the committee and I know exactly what was negotiated, I can't tell you. I can tell you this, that our meeting is at 2 o'clock, right, Chuck? Down, where is he? Chuck's over here. 2 o'clock. We'll be going down to D.C. tomorrow morning, and 2 o'clock is the meeting. I would say by sometime in the afternoon, it will be posted on the Teamsters website, the exact details of those contracts. All right? They want to get it ratified before the end of the month, because that's when the contract is up. I know the Bayshore Terminal, I just gave them the notice. We're going to be doing that on Wednesday. There's going to be a ratification vote. I'll be there for that. And Chuck, who handles the break bulk, with the assistance of Charlie Paul, is going to get that done over Tuesday and Wednesday. They've got guys that work overnight, all different hours, so it's a little more of a details, a camp out, and call it. So everything looks good for T-Force. I can't give you any details, but I think you're going to be very satisfied with what this contract is. I'd listened to what the concerns were about your health and welfare and pension and wages and maintain all those things. I think that meets those goals, and I think when you see this contract, you're going to be very happy with the way it came out. So, but devil's in the details, as I say, and you'll have all the details on Monday. But I think everyone's going to be satisfied with those, with that contract, and we're going to get that ratified right away, so the wages can go right in effect at the expiration of the contract. Any questions about T-Force? Other than, I can't tell you too much, but if there's something I can tell you, I'll be glad to.
Anything you can tell us?
Excuse me?
Anything you can tell us?
I just told you everything I could tell you. I know, but I said, I mean, you try.
Can you whisper it to us?
Yeah, I can't. No, I get big trouble. I won't be on the committees anymore. You know, I didn't even tell Chuck what the details of it were. You know, so. I can tell you there's some stuff on Facebook, and some of it is true and some of it isn't. Okay? I can't tell you. Can't tell you. But you'll know tomorrow. Tomorrow will be on the Teamster.org website, and we'll put a link. And John Zappoli is going to talk about this later about our website and the app. Yeah, just keep it down, which is going to be able to, get people informed right away, and we can tailor messages just to T-Force members. But John's going to talk about that later. So, but I wish we had it a little sooner, but we're working on getting that very quickly. Great way of getting messages out to each one of to not only the whole membership, but there's some stuff specific to different jobs, which will help us tailor messages on a regular basis to each one of of our membership.
There's some speculation that it was put towards the end of the month to kind of force a contract through.
Yeah, same thing with ABF was we said, hey, look, and they've done the same thing with UPS. They said if we don't have a contract by the expiration of the contract, which is the end of this month, they're going on strike. So they're meeting again on Monday, and as things happen, even though the formal negotiations are happening on Monday, there are always discussions that are going on in between to try and get this, get to the end game, which is a contract that everyone can agree with. I have not been involved at all with the UPS contract. We don't have any UPS members, but it's 330,000 Teamsters, and it's a lot of people. And if they were to go on strike, I think in 2 weeks they would wipe out our entire strike fund of hundreds of millions of dollars. So we changed the Constitution that said if you do go on strike, that your strike benefits start right away. So that was a change. You used to have to wait 2 weeks, and I was on 2 strikes. I was in '79 and '94, and it was amazing that the contract always ended. It got settled right before that 2 weeks was up. So, but then there's additional pressure to get it done on both sides. So I think that's a good thing, and it got us to where we need to be with ABF. It got us to where we need to be with T-Force, and hopefully it will get us to where we need to be with UPS. So. And I just want to reiterate again, we're not doing the new $100 member seminar is going to be reinstituted, and that is so if somebody joins, besides the initiation fee, we charge them an additional $100, and then when they come to a new member seminar, because we want to tell them, make sure they come to at least one union meeting, be able to tell them a little bit about the union, and also we give them a little seminar on that stuff, and they get the $100 back. So we think it's a good way of indoctrinating people, let them know what the union movement is a little bit about. So it works out well for us. We're going to be starting that again very shortly. Anything else on the old business? Okay. YRC. So, as you know, the YRC has been coming to the IBT for a change of operations. And they wanted to combine the operations of New Penn and Yellow and across the country, Holland as well. And the way that they could do this, where they're going to handle all types of freight, whether that be long haul freight, which Yellow does, or New Penn, which does overnight deliveries, they need to integrate those operations to be able to make them effective. Was a consolidation of the terminals. The original change was the elimination of the New Penn facility in Maspeth, combining those operations into Mount Vernon, Deer Park, Plainview, and Brooklyn. So the problem with that, the hang-up, was that they needed to make this work, as they told us, was to have road drivers at the beginning and the end of their shift to do dock work. Okay, that was the only way that they were able to make this system work where they could get the freight on and off in an efficient manner and a way to meet the goals. And the problem with that is that our contract says that once you start in one classification, unless you're designated as a combo person, you have to stay in that classification. And so it was a violation of the agreement to do that. And so it's not just about road drivers getting out of their trucks and going on the dock and everything and stuff they didn't do. This would affect jobs that we have that are just dock only guys. We have a lot of guys that are dock only, don't have their CDL, never got their CDL, had their CDL for whatever reason, whether the illness or they couldn't maintain that CDL. It would affect those people because the dock work that they used to do is now going to be done by the road drivers. So the IBT said, okay, you want to do this, you need to open up the contract. But you are now, forget about where they're going to be versus ABF and T-Force, how far they've been left behind. But your pension contribution is $1.82 an hour into YRC, and I think it's over $11 for ABF. All right, so they had a lot of room to make up, and they weren't willing to be able to put the money where their mouth is to say, oh, we can save all this money, we can restructure our debt if you let us do this. So the IBT said, you need to come up with sizable increases to do that. In the meantime, they filed a lawsuit against the IBT. We had name calling going back between, I've never seen that before, between the chairman of the board or the president of one of our companies against the general president of the IBT. But it's just, I've never seen it before, but I guess it's a new ground we're working on. Yellow sent a letter to every one of the benefit funds saying that they didn't want to pay or they couldn't pay July and August pension and welfare contributions. And they asked for what they call as a contribution deferral agreement that would allow them to defer those contributions into the future. All the funds, including ours, said that we didn't want to do that. They are still paying off, well, they just paid off last year the 2008 money that they owed us, and right now their credit isn't so good. So all the funds, but the biggest funds are Central States, which represents the workers not only in the Central but also the South, Western States, and then Central PA. That makes up somewhere between a half and 2/3 of the contribution dollars that go into pension and welfare funds. On the East Coast, there's a significant amount of smaller funds like ours, but for the most part, the West Coast has got everybody in there. Central States has Central and South, and Central PA, which has large break bulks involved with it. Those are the biggest ones. So they effectively said when they were turned down for that contribution deferral agreement, they just said to those three big funds that we're not going to pay you. We're not going to pay you in July or August. Now, we have a situation where, as you know, there's a run out on your benefits, so that if they stop paying tomorrow, I think you're paid through September. All right? Western States is very similar. The Central PA is very close to that as well, but Central States works on weekly eligibility. And that's good and bad. It's good that if you're a new employee or if you lose your coverage and you want to get going again, you don't have to wait 2 or 3 months to be able to get that back. But the flip side of that is if they don't make those payments, then, and the guys in T-Force are in Team Care, which is basically the Central States benefits, same thing. If they lose a week, they lose their coverage right away. And so by not paying those benefits, all members in the Central and South covered by those benefit funds are going to lose their coverage effective Sunday at 12 o'clock. So not only are they asking for people to take less in wages, less in pension contributions, but people are going to be asked to come to work without any medical coverage or to self-pay, which is about $450 a week, I understand. So the Teamsters, there is a provision in the contract that says that non-payment of health, welfare, and pension benefits, it is the strike issue. The IBT or the affected locals need to send a strike notice or 72-hour notice of going on strike to those companies they did that. Those 72 hours are up at 001 Monday morning, so that's right after midnight. That can be, so no one's pushing Central PA or the West, even though they didn't get those contributions and they could take that strike action. It is being directed to those funds that will cause these members to not have benefits as of Monday morning. So that is the quandary that faces us right now. I was speaking to the freight director, and he says, as of right now, I said, I have a general meeting on Sunday. I said, what do I tell everybody? He said, well, tell them as of right now, Central and the South are going on strike on 1 minute after midnight on Monday. It can be remedied by the company paying $25 million to cover just the Central, and that's all they're asking for. They're not asking to pay the West End or the Central PA and to get through that. And, the issue here is that, instead of the company saying, look, let's come to an agreement, we'll pay that money, this is what I'm hoping works out, and then we'll agree to meet after August 1st, because they have a little bit of their hands full with UPS right now. But in the meantime, continue to pay the benefits with a commitment to be able to meet and work something out. The company's saying, well, we offered $2 to $11 an hour over 5 years. And, that sounds great, but it's a lot less than what everybody else is paying right now. There's got to be a little more meat on the bone there. There's got to be a little more than just these promises that never seem to materialize with YRC. They need to restructure their debt. They are still paying for the sins of their fathers. That is Bill Zala's, who put this company in behind the eight ball, is an understatement. They still have $1.5 billion in debt. They got $700 million from the federal government. Where did it all go? Where did it all go? And that's what we want to know too. So it doesn't matter. It's almost like whatever help you give to YRC, they just figure out a way to blow it.
What do they do with all that money we gave back?
Right.
We did that 15%.
Well, that's what it is. When you add up, and I had the number, someone gave it to me, but I don't have it top of my head, but I will get it for you, about the money, not only the 15%, but how far you've fallen behind everybody else. Okay? It's billions and billions of dollars. But you know what keeps happening though? They figure out their contracts with the CEOs and everybody else, but they're getting bonuses. They're getting bonuses. We just want you to get what you should be getting paid, not even a bonus. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And people are saying, well, the IBT, they shouldn't be taking a stance. I mean, how much do you take? How did these people? And if I came to you and I was in Deer Park at the YRC terminal, and I said, imagine I was walking up the stairs and I go, what if I had to tell these guys they don't have medical coverage right now? I looked around the room. Does anybody here have to go to any scheduled surgeries? Anyone here take prescription medicine that's going to cost them $800 when they go to CVS or wherever they go? That usually costs them $5. So these are the things that we need to face. It's not easy decisions. Yeah, it's not easy decisions. I mean, there's 22,000 members of YRC. And when you add up, there's probably 65,000 people affected when you add in, spouses and children, et cetera. And the impact it would have on this local union would be devastating. The good news about on the pension side is that they haven't paid a lot into the pension. There's a lot of members, but they don't pay a lot into it. So it's, it wouldn't have that much of an adverse impact. It would take a hit, but not as bad as originally thought. The welfare fund would be smaller, and the union would look significantly different. So we don't want this to happen. But it comes to a point where you got to stand up and say, we can't have our members working without medical coverage. You can't put a gun to someone's head and say, negotiate, this is how I want you to negotiate with that. It's not fair to anybody, especially not fair to the members at YRC. And although we're not going on strike, and we don't have the right to go out on strike, even if we wanted to, because they are making the contributions into our fund, you see what's happened already. YRC has already lost Home Depot. They've lost, a significant amount of customers. The bill counts are way down. Everywhere we're laying people off. We're not working guys that are on the shape, and it's really had a severe impact.
Where do they have these men? They said that if we with this contract, whatever they want.
So here's what happened. So here's what happened: is the funding that they had were these market rate loans, basically, okay? Where it went up and down with the interest rates. And now you know where interest rates are. You know, they're significantly higher than when they were not too long ago. So this has really compounded the problem for them, that their interest that they have to pay on that $1.5 billion, or whatever they owe today, has gone up significantly, and more of their operating cash flow has gone into that. So the wild card here is the fact that the U.S. government owns a third of this company now. So at what point do they step in? And I don't see them putting more money into this, because they're fighting the $700 million that basically Trump gave them, you know what I mean? And the Biden administration is saying, well, you know, we don't think you should have given it to them. Maybe they shouldn't, but anyway, we got the money. They spent it already. It's gone. They've got a third of this company. Maybe they've got an interest, and maybe this thing's happening behind the scenes that we're not aware of, you know, where they're involved in this as well. So there's a lot going on in a short period of time. There is a call tonight. I think everybody got that information. Was it shared with everybody? And at 7 o'clock. And you know, right now, you know what I know. And you know, a lot can happen, and when it's clicking down to you know 13 hours from now before a strike happens, you know, maybe a lot can happen between now and then. A lot of their big lenders are the Apollo Group. They're a public equity firm, a private equity firm, and you know, I guess they're doing the math of whether this company's worth more dead than alive. You know, I don't know what role the federal government plays in this now that they're a significant shareholder in this company. What they're doing, what pressure they're putting on, but nobody wants to see a strike. We don't need that. But how much do you take? How much do you take? And if I came to you and sit there and said, hey, you guys don't have medical coverage starting tomorrow, you'd be pissed, you know? And how much more do you have to give to this company? You know, they like to play the blame game. Oh, the IBT's playing hardball. Well, you know, we always heard for the longest time, for the last 10 years, that the IBT needs to play hardball, you know, and they are. Okay? The ball is in the court of YRC. They've got that money. They're playing games with it. We're not saying pay Western States, pay Central PA. Just pay the ones that are going to lose their coverage starting tomorrow. I don't think that's too much to ask. So we are where we are with YRC right now. Hopefully we'll know some more by tonight. Johnny, can we put this stuff on the website now? Can you update the website if we got information?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it from my phone, now we need a computer.
Okay, but we could do it, okay.
Yeah.
So we could do it. So we have a new website, and it's ibt707.com. It's not a new website, but we had it redone, as I said at the last one. And once that gets done, and John will talk to us a little more, we'll be able to have the apps, the messaging. We're gonna need to sign up on there, and he'll talk to you about that a little more. But whatever information we get, we'll make sure that we get that up on our website, and we'll make sure all the stewards obviously know what's going on.
Kevin, with all that's going on with YRC, and earlier on this month, you know, YRC said when they made the half-ass offer of the 60 cent up front and all that, depending on if they got the money from the lenders.
Right.
They said that the lenders are taking a more active role with the company. Do you know if there's from the lender side or on that side where they looking to get rid of this mismanagement and try to start new?
This company's been mismanaged for the last 20 years. You know, that's the problem. I mean, I don't know why these guys survive. I really don't. Only for a golden parachute they stick around. But, you know, when you have big groups like Apollo, you know, these are big name, you know, private equity firms, and they know how to run business. That's their job. They come in and they run businesses, and I don't know why they're letting this one get away from them, because this is really, it's unbelievable how this company's been, and you see it each and every day. You know, you guys see what's going on, the mismanagement at YRC. And unfortunately, the worst thing that could happen to any one of our members is to be working for a company that can't get out of its own way and mismanaging its business and its finances. Because at the end of the day, we all know who pays the price, right? So, yeah, I think they are, I can tell you this much, they are playing a very active role in what's going on here.
I mean, as my shop steward here, Bobby, if if he can, you know, set it straight, you know, we're all doing what we're supposed to do.
Yes.
We pick up the freight, we deliver the freight, we move the freight. We all doing what we're supposed to do. And we always end up with nothing.
Same thing. And I can tell you, to piggyback on that, the YRC members, and I'm talking not just YRC, but New Penn as well, have been the most loyal employees to this company that I could imagine. You've been asked to take pay cuts. They killed the pension fund. They reduced the accruals that you've had. They took away vacation time. They took away all kinds of different stuff from you. And you know what? All you did was, okay, let me try and stick it out. Let's try and stick it out. Maybe we'll turn the corner here. And you did it. You know?
You gotta remember though, the reason why we did it is because of the medical.
Yeah,
It wasn't the money, it's always the medical.
I understand. But,
That's why I understand why these guys are going through
yeah.
the central state.
I mean, you always, I mean, despite all the issue with the pension fund, we still have a good medical fund. We have 18 months of reserves in that fund. We're in a good place. We just had a fund meeting on Friday, and we're still running a surplus in that medical fund. It will change if YRC were to go out, but and we're still paying benefits. We paid a $2.2 million claim last month. $2.2 million. So it's there if you need it, you know? So, and that's what we're supposed to do, but you're right, it's about the medical, and we've done our end based on what they've given us. But how much can you take? And hopefully, you know, maybe things will work out. Everyone's willing to sit down and talk. No one's talking about, the only reason we can strike is if you don't pay those medical benefits. And so we're hoping that this is something that's going to be remedied. And they agree to pay that $25 million to, you know, and it's almost half of our membership is being affected by this.
What about the layoff? People got laid off Friday.
Yep.
So what happened to us if the strike goes on? Won't be afraid that we get comes from Ohio.
Right. You're just going to say, the question is what happens if the strike goes on? You're going to see a diminishment of your freight. I mean, no one's going to put freight on your truck. They already stopped.
Yeah, the Friday already stopped.
Yeah.
They'll just stop picking
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So, I mean, you've already seen the impact, okay? So, I am hoping that maybe this can get remedied, cooler heads will prevail. And what is it gonna take to be able to make sure that you expect people to come to work and not have medical benefits? Pay the medical benefits. I looked at a couple women in the room, but, you know, pay it. You're obligated to pay it. You're playing games with people's lives. You know, people can't go get the proper medical care that they're getting for their family. It's ridiculous. And you have been the most loyal group of employees that I have ever met to this company. Ike?
And I'm a steward in New Penn. I need to speak on this real quick. New Penn has been sacrificing a whole lot. And people need to respect New Penn's seniority list. 3 of my people got laid off, and they got laid off just not even only a month ago. And they need to respect our seniority list. We are not one company, we're separate companies, and they need to respect our seniority list. Union man to union man, union brother to union brother. And I just want to state that. My job is to look after our seniority list. And that should be every steward's job to protect your list.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and I think what Ike's referring to is that the company has almost implemented portions of this change before they even had it, where they're doing a crossover of their freight that normally would be New Penn freight, and they're putting it into the YRC system. They're being cute about it, but that is something that's a concern, and that's what they've been doing. So, but I think now's the time. You know, what can the IBT do? How much more is asked? And they can't ask them to have their members, you know, half of our membership go to work without medical benefits, because as said before by the brother, that's why you come to work, okay, for the medical benefits, so. Yep, any more questions? Go ahead.
So if Central States go out on strike tonight, we don't go out on strike?
We're not legally permitted to go out on strike, because we still have a contractual agreement and they paid our benefits.
But it's gonna affect everybody.
Yes.
The thing is, we consider ourselves brothers.
Yeah.
If you fight one of my brothers, we all fight.
Yep.
If If I gotta pay somebody, we sending somebody
Yeah.
to get you.
Yep.
You're not fighting one of, I'm in the MC board, you're not fighting one of us and don't fight the other
Right.
5 charters.
I mean, you like to think that if they singled out local 707 to not pay their pension benefits, that the guys in the Central and South would all stand with you and sacrifice along with you. And that's exactly what's being asked, that we, part of the brotherhood and sisterhood. Legally, we can't do anything. That's what the IBT is now, yeah, keep it down. The only thing, we can't legally strike. We would get sued if we went out on strike because they have not breached our agreement. Okay, it's only on the central states. But, things are gonna happen. You know what the impact's gonna be. Yeah, brother.
My question is this, it looks like they're ready to go out. The strike out, we got no freight anyway, so it doesn't matter. If this company shuts down, what happens to the money that they still owe us? Like if you got vacation time or whatever, what happens to all that?
Oh, it'll be similar to anyone that's been around here, but the CF guys and everybody else, it takes a while for that. If they declare bankruptcy, they would, you'd get in line, but one of the priority claims is that type of money, those accrued benefits for employees. It's you get towards the front of the line for that.
And what about if you are old enough, you have enough time for your pension? What happens to our pension? Still strong enough?
Yeah, right now you could still retire and the pension fund will survive. Okay, so, go ahead, man.
Yeah, you just said that they paid into our benefits and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, this quarter is just ending this week.
Yes.
Does that mean we're pushed up another?
No, they pay, what they pay in July is for the June contributions. Okay, so we'll get those July contributions, which would get you extended coverage if they pay us. We don't have that right now. What we get in July is the June contributions.
So we're good up until the 1st of September?
The end of September, I believe. I have it on my phone, but I'm using it to Zoom there. I'm almost positive. We'll send it all out to, if something were to happen, we'll have complete information. We'll have meetings specifically for YRC members and to talk about this stuff.
And if they pay that money, it'll bump it up another 3-4 months?
If they pay the July contributions that are due in August, yes. Okay, it would extend your coverage, yes.
Consider it separate from September?
Yeah, it would extend your coverage, so. Okay? So, all right, anything else on YRC? All right,
And they legally lock people out of the jobs.
they would be violating the contract if they locked you out.
All right, because they did post something.
Said if you were to go on strike.
To the John, they did post something on the glass, they done it in Maybrook.
Yep,
I don't know, I think they did it in Brooklyn too.
yeah, we're not taking strike action. Okay?
They made people handing all the truck keys on Friday.
We don't know what's gonna happen over this weekend. Right now, it's crunch time, and they've got a lot going on. They're resuming contract negotiations tomorrow morning on the biggest employer that we have with UPS, with the possibility of a strike that would have a large impact on many people, many industries, et cetera. If UPS goes on strike, they would need you guys. And you guys remember the last UPS strike, they put everything on the freight trucks, There would not be enough capacity in the existing system to handle it without UPS there. So there's just a lot going on right now. YRC it's a freight division versus a package division. So there's just a lot going on right now, and there's probably stuff going on that I don't know about, we'll know later on. We'll know later on. So you'll know when I do. So.
Right now, we're in the perfect storm.
Yeah. It looks sunny outside, but so. All right. Anything else on YRC?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just need to speak one last time on this, because I filed multiple grievances. Can I get a commitment that we're gonna really enforce no subcontracting of any kind with layoffs, when being done by a parent or sister company? Because I'm tired of it,
I understand. Yes.
Sick of YRC picking up freight they got no business picking up. My guys know we can't pick up your freight, and if we're ordered to, I contact the school so y'all can file a grievance.
Right. Yeah. The problem is, and it's very similar to if you know, someone comes in and takes your freight, another company, like an Old Dominion, someone else grabs your freight, you know? The question is when it's tended to us, and, you know, they playing games about that. Because they can't meet, if it goes into the YRC system, they can't meet the service commitments that New Penn has the next day delivery. Can't do it. So, but we'll work together on that, so, all right?
I have one question.
Yes.
That letter they sent, the $11, they said they were gonna give you $11 an hour. Did they break it down?
No, it was, that's $11.17 over,
Yeah.
over 5 years, including welfare contributions and pension contributions.
They did break it down.
No, they give you a number and say, look, this is,
didn't break it down.
we didn't, no, there was no, it would be negotiated. You know, and so we have $11 over 5 years to give you. You know, we got significantly more than that from, I can tell you, from, without giving out too many details, from T-Force and from ABF. Okay, so.
Still being fine. No matter what.
You know, but the thing about YRC, besides the fact that it's got a resilient workforce that continues to be loyal employees,
Crap free too.
right? Well, that's part of the problem is the shit freight that they pick up. You need to pay more on claims than you do than you get in revenue. And you've heard me say this before, and I'll say it again because it was repeated at national negotiations. And is that this is a cat that has 9 lives, but it's used up 15 of them already. Someone else corrected me, said they're up to 22, and they're probably right. So anything can happen with YRC, but somehow, some way, it gets pulled out of the fire. Whether it be the government giving them $700 million, somebody else coming from the sky to snatch them right before the 11th hour.
How much do they pay back to the government?
They haven't paid anything back. They own a portion of the company.
Yeah, but that was a loan. It was.
I understand, but I don't think they've begun paying it back. If they did, I'm not aware of it. We all have to pay the government back when you owe them money. You know that. Yeah.
They took that out of us too.
They just take it right out. You know? So anyway, I don't have that exact how much they. I know it was $700 million. I don't know how much they paid back. So. Yeah. Right. Poof. Yeah.
Kevin, the government's
Yeah.
not in the business of running freight companies. So
No, it's not. It's not. And it really wasn't. Some say that it overstepped its bounds, and that's what some people are arguing, saying that they used a provision in the defense contract that said that YRC is vital to the defense industry. And it was, yeah. So it.
Where's our money?
Yeah. So anyway, so that's all I have on YRC. Get on that. If you need that information, please let us know. But I think it's been circulated among all the stewards, et cetera, to pass on to all the members. And hopefully we'll get something on the website today. In fact, we go back. Let's make sure it's on there tonight. We'll go back to the office. Okay. Next is recently ratified contracts, ABF and Westside Tennis. We're currently negotiating T-Force, where we have a tentative agreement, and Penske Logistics. And anyone that doesn't know, we represent the workers at Penske Logistics. They're a third-party logistics company for Cardinal Health. Ever see the Cardinal Health trucks that deliver to all the hospitals? Those are 707 members. And they're based out of Montgomery, New York. We have about 80 people there?
75.
75 people there. So they're based out of there. I want to take a quick, Rob, do you have any updates for us that you might need to share with us since the last meeting? You want to come up and say hello? Greg, you want to come up and say hello really quick? Our host, Greg, come on up here, and you and Robin.
Just 2 seconds, just want to make it quick in light of all the other
Okay.
stuff going on,
Okay.
real quick about the
And just so you know, there's plenty of stuff back there. We have pamphlets and cards. And when you do business with Miller and Caggiano, you get a cell phone number. You know, you're not getting an office number, whatever. They return your calls. Anybody that choose them. Oh, they have bags today too. Okay. So yeah. So take the information. If you have a workers' comp claim, these are great guys to use.
Hello, everybody. Rod Rogers, Miller Caggiano. I'm going to keep it brief. I know you got a lot going on, but just because somebody asked me this question earlier. Yeah.
Just make sure you touch on the fact that God forbid any company go back to business, comp claim, something like that.
Well, there you have it.
There you go. That was the question. But Greg's the boss. He can do that. He's the boss.
So
Sounds like you.
he was saying that
Yeah, sounds like me.
should anything happen with the employer, if it goes out of business, mergers, whatever, switch jobs, if you're already injured, you have an insurance claim with the insurance company. It's not tied to the job, so your insurance claim is still covered. okay? The other thing is with new accidents, injuries, just very important. Make sure our shop stewards have either my number, Greg's number, Todd's number to call us, because I know some of the companies want you to talk to nurse case managers or nurses before you know, at the initial onset of your case. It's very similar to like starting up your case. So we want to tell them what is injured and how it occurred, because if we don't get that out initially, they can fight your case, right? And we can win, but it's just going to take longer to get your treatment. Where if we get everything squared away right from the beginning, it's going to be a much more streamlined process, okay? So afterwards, I hope you guys would join us, ladies and gentlemen, would join us for a lunch, some light refreshments afterwards. We can have some more discussion out there, but I want to let you continue with the meeting today, all right?
One minute short, if you get hurt, they reach out to you, you reach out to us, you don't reach back out to them. All right? Just set it straight.
I'm going to pass it back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Rob, and thank you, Greg, for the work that you do, and obviously for sponsoring lunch today. So these guys like to eat, so I don't know. Sorry, picked up that eating. And that good German beer out there, I think they, especially the YRC guys, may need a little bit of it today. A couple last things on the health and welfare side. The new summary plan descriptions were distributed on the jobs. I believe on the A plan, we're going to do, anyone that's in the C plan and the H plan, they're going to be distributed shortly. And then one of the things we're going to go to, we hired somebody new in the fund office that is going to be working on special projects and doing certain things. One of the things that we've talked about was these electronic EOBs. Every time you go to the doctor, you get something that's mailed to us. This is what you want. Nobody looks at these EOBs, or for the most part, they don't. We're going to go to electronic EOBs, what a lot of funds have done. And so you're basically going to be able to access a website or just get an email notification of when of an EOB. But the law says that you have to specifically go into that to be able to say that you're agreeing to do that. But I'm going to have somebody that's going to be their project, so you're going to hear about that sooner than later. Yes.
This Davis vision, nobody's taking it anymore.
Why don't you go to a David? Just go to this.
They're not. It's like, I live in Westchester. They're not real. Huh?
Yeah, it's VisionWorks.
VisionWorks? Same company.
Yeah. You go to the wrong place, man. We'll find one for you. Well, yeah, they're all over there. You trip over them. We'll find. I'll check on Westchester. So, but yeah, that's one of the, I don't have any complaints, but yes.
When you go to see a doctor, say the date of service is say September 15th, but he doesn't bill it out to you guys until like a month or so later. Is it the date of service that counts as to when they actually receive the bill?
Yes. Yeah, and I'm surprised that they go directly with Empire Blue Cross, and it's all electronic billing now, so I'm surprised there would be a lag.
I mean, because sometimes I'll get a bill and it's 2 months after the fact.
It's date of service, so, all right. And I just want to bring up, anybody else on the medical or any other questions with the fund stuff?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm not a CEO. We got laid off Friday.
Guys, just keep it down. So you got laid off?
Yeah, Friday.
Okay, so I can talk to you later about the coverage, how long it goes on for. Okay. Right now, you should be covered through the end of September. Okay, the way but each case is different because I don't know if you had a significant amount, enough hours in those that time period to qualify for that. So I would call the fund office, and right now if you call 516-560-8500, there's no this or that. Someone picks up the phone, says local 707, and that's for the benefit office. So you get an answer, you just give them your name, your social security number. They'll look it up right now and they'll tell you how long your coverage is. I would recommend that you do that. Excuse me? Do we have a problem with the layoff? Yeah, the only issue is with the layoffs. They can't lay you off and use subcontractors, or they can't use. It has to be in seniority order.
And I already filed a grievance because a guy got walked last week and freight was picked up. And I filed a grievance I sent to Evans. you know?
Okay, and we'll address that. So, but I can use subcontract, and it's gotta be in seniority order. Okay? All right, anything else? With that, I'm gonna bring up John Zapoli. He's gonna talk about the website and the app that's coming. So, come on up, John.
Good morning, everybody. So, as you know, that old site that hasn't been updated since 2016 is gone. It's no longer there anymore. So if you log into the same thing, ibt707.com, it'll come to the new website, which we're going to try to keep updated as much as we can.
Yeah, you got
Oh, sorry.
Use your inside voice.
Anyway, so we had to get the website going first in order to have the app work, because it mimics the website, like I had said in the past. So the website is live. Now everybody has to go into that site and register themselves. Put all the information in, send it, I get it, I certify it, and then you're good to go on that website, and you'll be able to see what pertains to what job you work for. And that's also how we can send out to everybody or to a particular company or shop stewards. The website, the app is probably, hopefully, with any luck, will be ready for next week. And that will mimic the website, but you need those credentials from the website that you log into to get into the app. And with the app, it's going to do the same thing, but a little easier, text messages and this and that. But it also can be done from the website. So, like I said, I'm going to try to keep it updated as much as I can. And as soon as I see something that's of value, I'll put a link on there. Still work in progress for me. It's a lot of new stuff for me that I'm learning on this site, but it's up and going. You can go in there, and like a company that has an active contract that's in there, you can go in and click contracts. You'll see a view of your contract. You can print it out. Like ABF is not in there yet, so I'm waiting for theirs to be updated, and we can get a copy of it, and then I'll put it on there. But like I said, as much as I can, I'm trying to keep it as current as I can. Definitely a lot better than the old site.
What do they have to do to register?
Oh, just click on the right top corner, there's a button that says register. You just click on that, just fill out what it says. And
So
then
if they register on the website, when the app goes live,
they use those same credentials to log in.
would they have to go back in and re-register for the app?
No, just whatever you register on the website, those credentials are what you're going to use to log into the app. But you have to register online first on the site.
So the username and the password?
Yes, yeah, you're going to be setting all that up on when you register yourself. It's going to ask you a few things like phone number, your cell service, because for text message purposes, and then they ask you for a user and password. That will be what you're going to use on the app. And if for some reason you screw up, forget anything, there is a reset button, or you can call me and I can reset it and then have you change it again once you get in there. But like I said, it's fairly easy, and as I get more comfortable with it, I'm going to try to put as much as I can on there. Other links to other things like important sites and stuff like that.
What's the name of the site again?
IBT707.com. It's the original one. And that other one you won't see anymore. If you go on that one is gone. And has a lot of information of all of us in there. The retirees are in the new site now. So it has a lot of info, and like I said, as I go more, I'll be putting as much as I can in there. Any questions? Yes, that's it.
That's it.
Well done.
Been working on it for a year. That's what I keep saying. It's taking so long. Good. I'm glad you answered that, Frank.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot better than the
Funny you should
2016
ask that
site.
Well, I know it's not going.
Yeah.
He gave me an excuse I didn't believe either, so I don't want you to have to test it. So, IBT 707 for International Brotherhood of Teamsters. We'll have a link to our website on the not only that, but the roadcarrier707.com. You can link right to there. And one other thing that we're going to be doing, as soon as the attorneys give me the disclaimer form, we're going to be able to go on that roadcarrier707.com website, and there's going to be a pension calculator in there. So you can get an estimate about what your pension benefits would be. But we just have to put the disclaimer in there once they do that, would be ready to go with that, and we'll make you aware of it. But please.
Send out like you used to get it.
No, no, because you can actually go on the website and you can see your statements. You can see what your past credit is, okay? No, I'm sorry. So road carrier 707 on the welfare side, you will continue to get that. That's the medical side. That website has not changed. That is what it is. This is the union side. All I'll do is link it so you can link onto there and press on. We'll redirect you back to that website. You have to get paper SPDs.
Yeah.
All right, summary plan descriptions. But what we want to do is go into those EOBs that we send out, those explanation of benefits. They're sitting there saying, oh, more mail from the union. It's just easy. If you want to go on, you can access it. They'll send you an email, make sure everything is what it is. So, do we have any? We had a program we instituted last year where any veterans, we had veterans pins for anyone that are members that are veterans. Is there anybody here today that's a veteran that did not get their pin? Maybe you didn't get. Well, Ray, come on up here and get a pin. Where'd you serve in?
Now, Maple, Florida.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, thank you for your service. On behalf of local 707 members, here's a veterans pin for you. All right. With that, we have the 50-50. Bob, will you have? I think that's the last order of business. Yes.
I got an announcement for that.
Good luck. You can't do that. What do we got? Oh, is there anything else? Jack, I'm sorry, before we end, Jackson. Yes.
I wanted to know if we're going to speak about National Road TV. I have questions to ask about it.
What question do you have, Rosie?
I have a few.
Okay, then we'll talk after the meeting if you have a few.
I want to put in the meetings, the minutes of the meeting.
I'm not going to debate you. We don't talk about grievances or anything yet. What do you have to? You can say what you want, Rosie.
I wanted to find out, first of all, the first question on my thing was this going to be put into the minutes of the meeting? That was the first question I would ask.
Okay, it will reflect that you had questions about the meeting. Go ahead.
Well, first I wanted to find out, the last contract, who negotiated that contract? And was there an attorney there from the Teamsters?
Yes and yes.
Okay. Then, I wanted to find out.
Me.
Do we know?
She knows who did it.
Do we know the amount that Nassau Road TV got from the federal government?
No.
Okay, well, we think that would be a good thing to ask about, right?
I have no idea.
Next thing is, the last contract that was negotiated by, like you said, someone, an attorney, we got a 3% raise, okay? So after 13 years, and 1 month's one month's retro.
That is not accurate. That's not accurate.
Well, what's
I don't have the
first
contract.
year, we got a 3% raise.
In the first year. In the
The
first
first
In-
year,
in-
after, and then I believe it's a 2%.
2 and 1.5.
And then 1.5.
So that's not
So
3%.
after
Right.
13 years, we ended up with a 6% raise and 1 month retro pay.
Yes, that's what I believe. I don't have the contract in front of me, but if you read the contract, and that's what it is. Yes, that's what it might be. Yes.
Okay, well, none of us have received a copy of the contract, okay, which is supposed to come from Nassau Road TV. So I'm not understanding, we're in the 3rd year of the contract.
Okay, we'll get you a
and
copy.
we haven't been-
We'll get you a
and
copy of the
none our
contract.
members have been provided with the copy.
Okay, we'll make sure you get a copy of the contract.
Okay, I wanted to find out also, any idea of what's being done with because we constantly hear there's no money, but we know that they're in negotiations to buy Franklin Square. Do we have any idea what's going on with that?
No.
Okay, because, we're always told there's no money, but that Franklin Square is being negotiated on to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know, these are questions, Kevin.
Yep.
Do we know if, D'Amato is still getting $25,000 a month to be OTB's consultant?
I don't know that.
Okay, well, that would be a very good question to ask. Where is, some of this money coming from? And going out to? Next question is, the casino that's gonna supposedly open in, Nassau Coliseum, do we have any idea of what's gonna happen with us in jobs there?
No.
Okay.
Anything else, Ron?
It is a good question, but it's years away. Years away.
You a dues paying member of 707?
Yes, I
You're
am.
entitled to these questions.
Yep, I answered them. Do I know what's going on? I said, no, I don't.
Well, that's why I figured my first question was these?
It's gonna be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube, Rosie.
Oh, okay, good. Let me see, the casino in the Johns. 23 years ago, I was making $17 an hour, and now I'm making 23, after 23 years later.
Sounds like YRC.
Yeah, it's funny.
So she's part-time too.
Yeah, it's a little different for part-time employees.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about representatives.
Right.
We used to have a representative from the cashiers. We used to have a representative of the attendants. We used to have different representatives now.
What's that?
We have none of those anymore.
Are you talking about a shop steward?
Yeah, shops do it.
Okay.
So now we just have no shop stewards? That's the situation?
No, I wouldn't say you don't have any shops. There's an issue. If there's ever an issue, it is being dealt with. I don't know of any grievances or any inquiries have been
I
made.
know I had to put in a grievance to OTB because in our contracted, every April, we get to have picks of our
Right.
schedule, and I had to put in a grievance to get that pick.
Right,
Yep.
you did it with me.
Yes.
I did it with
Yes,
you.
Laura
I
took care of
was
it.
your representative. at
Yes.
that time.
Yes. So, no, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, no, it works.
Instead of going to a cashier rep shop steward, that it always has to be brought to Laura.
Yeah, so it works.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Jackson, are you done, Rosie?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be available for questions later.
Who's gonna negotiate the new contract?
I will. I will.
And one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a list of demands that came from OTB to, that, we did with OTB? Was there any kind of list of demands? Because I don't see anything other than getting the 3% raise that we got after 13 years going forward.
I would have to look back. It would be in my notes somewhere.
Okay?
Okay, so
Because,
yeah.
as far
I'll-
as I know, we never went to.
Can I just add something?
Yes, good.
We went to the members and put a sheet out and asked the list of demands. That's how we came up with how to
Right.
Okay,
negotiate the
well, how
contract.
long ago was that before there was actually
It was 3 years ago.
negotiation?
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
When we started the negotiation.
Yeah, we'll do the
I
same
think it was
process.
2017, and then that contract didn't get voted in, and then we went back to the table.
We do the same thing with every one of the contracts. Everybody gets contract proposal forms.
Another question. How many contracts did you settle during the coronavirus? Do you have any idea?
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry, say that again?
She wants, how many contracts did we settle during the COVID, the coronavirus? I don't remember.
We settled ours, that's one
Yeah.
contract.
Okay, so that was the only contract settled during the coronavirus?
Yeah, that's the contract we're in now that.
Are you talking about your contract? We've settled other contracts, so.
Oh, you were settling other contracts?
Yeah, yeah, people going to work. People went to work every day. Jackson, you had a
I
question?
can only speak for hours.
You want to thank me for that Roth option on the,
First of all, I want to say thank you to Kevin for, after all these years, getting us
All these
to
years.
participate in the Roth option of the New York State Deferred Compensation Plan 457B.
it's been a passion.
Very long time,
Yes.
and a couple of cases to the Public Employment Relations.
Yes.
First point, the LM2 that the union is required to file with the Department of Labor for the calendar year 2022, due in March of 2023 has not been filed.
That's correct.
When will it be filed, and why is it taking so long to make it filed and publicly available to all the members? And if anybody doesn't know what an LM2 is, I would be glad to say a few words on that topic.
They know it's a legally required document that specifies what the finances of the union are. The reason why it was delayed, along with the other reports at IBT, our longtime accountant developed ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and he just passed away recently. So we had a delay. We spoke to the Department of Labor. They understood it. So we're gonna be making those. We're gonna be sending them the amended LM2, which will reflect those dates. So somebody died after a long illness. So.
And next point, most employers, both public and private, have a leave transfer plan, including the Office of Personnel Management, various state agencies, Nassau County, and I would like to see a leave transfer plan negotiated and put in the next contract. There's a fellow at OTB who was out for a number of years because he had a hip replacement which got infected, another hip replacement, then another hip replacement to fix the temporary one, and giving people money directly is fine, but it is fairly standard in the United States, or at least in the state of New York, that employers have a leave transfer plan so that people can donate.
I understand. Make sure that you put it in the proposals, and we'll make sure that becomes one of our proposals when we negotiate the contract. Okay? Anything else? Anybody else have anything else? Okay. 125 to the winner?
To the winner.
All right, who's gonna pay? How about Bobby Zapoli?
Anybody want to be a winner?
Bobby Zapoli. Right there. Let him pick a. Don't ask those kind of questions. No need.
Come on, Bob, we're gonna split.
Come on, Bobby, we're gonna split.